Whew, it's a cold one out there today, December 16th, 2021. I hope you are cozy and ready for some Solidworks Live to warm you up. In this episode, you're joining us in the Solidworks cabin for a little holiday party. It's all sorts of festive in here today, but actually, I'm a pretty bad host, because each of my special guests is waiting out there in the cold, waiting for their chance to share their highlights from 2021 with you. We're going to visit and chat about 2021, aspirations for the new year, and through it all, a variety of design, engineering, and manufacturing content to keep you coming back to join us every single week in the live audience. We'll be keeping tabs on your chat today, so no matter where you're watching from, drop a comment and a like if you're having fun. And of course, we don't want to have all the fun, so last week we asked you to share how you celebrate the holidays incorporating design and engineering, and let's take a look at some of the responses. I love these 3D printed snowflakes with nice messages. That's very kind. Good job, Danute. Sankeet, nice rendering of a tree. I don't know how you modeled that. I'd love to see that. And a nice reindeer ornament, also some snowflakes. Beautiful work there. This one's got to win the prize for incorporating gears. Hopefully you used assembly advanced mating for that one. It's the most wonderful time for a beer. Perfect. Good job, Jay. Oh, this one is great. Antlers on your hopper. Like, who needs antlers on their sheet metal? Everybody. Great job, Michael. Nice job sending that card to all of your clients. And Christopher, a YouTube video designing not just ornaments, but inlay designs. We're going to have to check out that video as soon as we are done here in the studio. Awesome work. Thanks for sharing those responses, and let us know in the chat. I see, by the way, you have noticed the sweater. Love the sweater. Thank you. Here's a question, though. What icon does this represent? So let me know if you know. It's an easy one. Everyone here has brought their special sweaters, though. So I want you guys to all please stick around to the end to hear a special deal for attending 3D Experience World 2022. More details to come. You know, in a lot of ways, World is the start of our year. It's a chance for us to share our biggest news with you and really recharge our passion for making the best tools for anyone to bring their imagination to life. Of course, this year we all continued to adapt to new ways of meeting up, and 3D Experience World 2021 was the first ever fully virtual event. So let's go back to February and see what it was like. Our first special guest today is Solidworks CEO, Paolo Bassi. Hey, Paolo.
How are you, Brian?
I'm good. What did you bring us today here in the cabin?
Oh, I brought a small present. I think you will like it. It's a cookie with the theme of our compass. You know, at the end of the year,
All right. I'll have this. Hey, I got you something too.
Okay.
Here you go. We were talking about eggnog earlier, so your very own moose mug.
Moose-inspired design. I like this. Thank you, Brian.
Hey, Yaya, great job in the chat. Simulation sweater, and GP, I love your sweater. I think we know what you represent and what you're all about.
Yeah, that is the flagship. Is close to my heart, you know.
That's easy. So, GP, 3D Experience World, it's the biggest event on your calendar, all our calendars all year. Seeing you on stage in front of thousands of community members, it's your natural habitat. So I'm wondering, what was 3D Experience World this year like, being all virtual?
Well, it was different, as you said. It is definitely the event that is the culmination of a lot of things, because we at the same time we recap what happened the previous year, and then we propel the entire ecosystem to the future, to the following year. Being virtual was our only possibility. Was not our choice. Was the only possibility. And as we say, we like virtual is supposed to enhance the real world, but it will never replace it.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was a chance for us to keep the communication, our conversation flowing, and it was very well organized. I'm very happy. In fact, moving to the future, we will have some elements of virtual connection, because, as you know, we want to embrace as many people as possible. There will be elements of that, but I'm very happy to say that in Atlanta, February 6 to 9, we will be there in person.
I think we had the biggest attendance last year because it was virtual, allowed us to reach over, 37,000 folks. So hopefully more in Atlanta.
Yes, actually, yes. But this in Atlanta, we will do it mix.
Okay.
A mix event, and there will be a lot of initiatives to bring the event into the real world, to bring the real world into the event virtually. A lot of things. Maybe we have a chance to speak about this later.
All right, well, let's go back. Thinking about 2021, it's gone by so fast. What were some highlights for you this past year?
Okay, many things. How much time we have, 2021 was a very special year. First of all, we had some surprises. For instance, I was surprised by the resilience of our customers and by their strong will to go back to a strong business, to growth, to productivity, and all of this in this new light of being more agile and resilient. Mm-hmm. So this was a very interesting type of conversation we had with our clients, and there was a heightened interest and alert on themes like resilience and agility, as I said, but also a different perspective on safety and security of the information system. Because, in 2021, we also had a lot of, all worldwide episodes related to security. And our clients now realize that a secure cloud connection is safer, is a safer bet if compared to on-premise installations, because small, medium customers, especially the size of the market where we operate, it is very difficult and costly to keep up with the latest generation of security software and also infrastructure and so on. This is what we do on our platform. This is our livelihood.
Every single day.
Every single day we have a team of hundreds of people whose only focus is to keep everything safe and secure. So this conversation right now is becoming in the I would say, in the front stage of the imagination of all our clients. They started talking with us about what about security, what about agility, because what happened in 2021, and it was amazing, because the entire ecosystem rallied to support the businesses. Many had to improvise a working from home setting, and they didn't have a setup for that. They didn't have firewalls. Their connections were not safe, so we had to provide technology, systems, and even hardware to make it happen. So this was an amazing thing that happened in 2021. In a way, it shows the strength of our community. I think I like it very much. Another thing is we launched the makers and the student version.
We talked about that on Solidworks Live a couple times.
Exactly.
3D Experience Solidworks for Makers, huge.
Is huge, and it shows our interest in making technology available to as many people as possible, because technology can change lives, can change trajectories, and,
Yes.
And we will talk about this later, I think. So the makers and the student edition have been very successful. We have sold, because there's a sales price that is very affordable, but in the thousands and growing. So it is it is very, very successful.
Good.
Also, the comments of the technology is very positive and is helping us to strengthen the overall portfolio. And you have to keep in mind that what we offer makers is not easy access to technology, but also communities, okay? Communities of enthusiasts, of experts that can help our makers and students community bring up to speed on the skills that are necessary for the future. Another thing, if I may.
You can have one more.
One more.
These are great highlights. What else?
Well, I'm pleased to say that Solidworks in 2021 we will be back to the record seats sold that we reached in 2018.
Okay.
So we will probably, I don't know if I can say that in the close of a quarter, but we will be very close to that record. I will say that 80,000 seats. So this shows how important and well received is the strength of Solidworks in the marketplace. It's becoming some sort of language, If you are in the manufacturing, in the product creation business, Solidworks is very relevant for our kind. This is very, very important for all of us.
Well, thank you everyone out there who's using SolidWorks. One of our customers, we looked at SolidWorks 2022 a few months back. You were on our program with Rob Walkers from U-Boat and we looked at all the enhancements. It just literally gets better every single year. And I never want to go back to SolidWorks 2021 now that we have 2022 and 3D Experience SolidWorks 2022. So speaking of 2022, I know we're going to talk about World, but what else are you looking forward to next year besides World?
Okay, so there are a few important things that will happen next year. So you will see a lot of focus, because this is a strong demand for our clients, to see the designs, the amazing designs that they do in a wider context. Let me explain. So, for instance, you know that industrial equipment is a very important industry of ours. We have a lot of manufacturers of very complex equipment for industries. So they need more and more to show to their clients in order to design and have a useful conversation in the context of their shop floor or their plant infrastructure and so on.
Okay.
And not only that, they want to bring it to the next level. They want to really show virtually the functioning, the productivity of the efficiency of these plants, the consumption. They want to show simulation of, for instance, the energy consumption and the efficiency.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So not a virtual twin, not just of the product, but everything that makes the product.
Everything.
That ships it and surrounds it.
All the way into how the trucks will go there to deliver the equipment, how the equipment will be installed, what are the instructions to operate, the safety concerns, circulation of people. If there is an accident, how can you evacuate? So this is very important, and we have all the technology to do it, and we are putting together a package for that category of customers to do that. Now, but this idea of designing context is becoming prevalent. So, we are not mechanical designers anymore. We are mechatronics. So being able to do electrical, electronics, and mechanical together in a very integrated way is more and more prevalent. And we are we have a very strong strategy. We will make important announcements in 2022 at World.
At World, maybe?
Yeah.
We'll hear more about that?
Yeah, we will hear more about that. So this will be among the themes that we will do next year. Of course, in addition to mechatronics and integrated multidiscipline, you will see simulation becoming more and more prevalent. Today, there is this conversation about modeling and simulation. So, as you know, we are the only company in the world that can really offer such an integration of multi-physics and multi-scale simulation.
Yes.
You will see. We had this year we had an amazing traction of growth of our simulation domain in the 3D Experience World portfolio. We see that a huge traction of that. We have, of course, as you know, we go from stress and strength simulation all the way into fluid dynamics and even electromagnetic field simulation, because today everything is connected, right?
Absolutely.
So those are very, very important, and is becoming a big interest from our customers, and we are putting everything together, of course, in a way that is affordable and also useful and easy to introduce in our clients. So you will see a big push, a big investment in this direction. And another thing that I would like to mention in 2022, I'm very pleased to say that we will resume our program of creating a Fab Lab in remote places in the world, one every year. We started this last year. We had to suspend it temporarily because of the pandemic. But next year, I'm pleased to say that we will create a new Fab Lab in Haiti.
Oh,
you know, Haiti last year was struck by the hurricane. This year again by, I think, a Category 7 earthquake, especially in the south region.
Yeah.
And our intention is to go exactly in the south region, in the city of Jeremy, one of the most hit by the earthquake, to build the Fab Labs, to give open opportunities to the local population. And we will do this in partnership with Paul Altidore, who is the former Haiti ambassador to the US.
Okay.
He's an amazing person. I met with him recently. And he's very, very committed to helping Haiti to go back in their feet and to build a future based on technology and science. He's a strong believer of that. He's an alum at MIT. He's actually teaching there right now, but he has committed to go back and live in Haiti to help inspire the local youth, to show them a path toward the success. So I'm very, very pleased that we will do this. And very likely Paul Altidore will be at the World in 2022, so to have this discussion with all of us.
That's so exciting. It's so inspiring. Let's, real quick, tell the audience what is World going to be like? We talked briefly, it's going to be a virtual and live event, and we know it's in Atlanta. What else would people expect tuning in or traveling to the show? Yes,
so the in-person event will be amazing as usual. There will be surprises, there will be surprise guests, there will be big machines, small machines. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but as usual, we want to make it a show, of course, to have fun and also to be informed, to understand, to talk to all our users and to have a sense of where they want to go and to give them a sense of where we want to go as well, right? So there will be the usual plenary sessions. So Bernard will be there to show the bigger picture of the System, our house, and there will be a plenary session fully dedicated to R&D with the amazing showcase of what is coming in the future, and one fully dedicated to the makers. In a way, it's a traditional setup. And there will be a breakout session, more than 350 sessions where everybody can come, learn hands-on with the dedicated and passionate instructors coming from all over the world. There will be on-site certifications, as usual. There will be the beloved Model Mania, even expanded with the connections with the remote
Well, the 3D experience model challenge as well.
Absolutely. That will be, and of course there will be the top 10 event and so on. But a novelty this year will be meetup sessions, where, as I said at the beginning, we want to bring the real world into the event and the event into the real world. So there will be streaming sessions in strategic places of the event, where we talk to people that are connected remotely, that cannot come on the venue. Of course, I would like to have everybody coming to the venue. We understand that probably next year is going to be difficult for someone. So we want to give the experience to as many people as possible. So this virtual part of the event is, we are dedicating a special attention. The plenary will be streamed in real time. There will be this meetup sessions. There will be a live connection from the Hive, as we did actually also the year before last year, but also last year. So this virtual part we will dedicate a lot of attention. Also, there will be a playground. We used to call it the Partners Pavilion.
Yep,
playground. For the first time, we will have in the Partners Pavilion our resellers that will showcase their services. There will be an area dedicated to manufacturing, where we will show things for real. We will cut metal. We have a lot of passionate manufacturing.
We're going to hear from Mike Buchli.
John Milbury. Yep. Oh, Mike is here in the show. Fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, he will tell you a lot about that. There will be a section dedicated to the makers, and there will be a special section of a special guest that I think is They do amazing machines, and
well, you got to bring a full notebook, a fresh notebook, because you're going to fill it up with all sorts of knowledge, and the breakout sessions are just amazing. Well, GP, crossing fingers for 60 degrees and sunny, I think it could be.
It could be Atlanta, yeah. Atlanta is very friendly weather-wise, yes. Very friendly as a city as well. The venue is amazing, yeah.
Well, thanks for being here, sharing us what to expect next year and at World. And everyone out there, stick around. We're going to be sharing a half-off promo code so you can register yourself, maybe a buddy, for both virtual and live. Here's a quick peek at what to expect at World 2022. Hey, thanks for sticking around as we're going to visit with some more Solidworks friends. And I can see coming in from the cold, joining me in the studio, Mr. Sean O'Neill. Here you go, buddy. Some cold eggnog to go with that blizzard out there.
Brian, you guys were so deep in conversation. I've been knocking for many minutes.
So, Sean, you guys probably saw him in Solidworks Live this year. He was on 2 of our biggest shows, and you know what? He did such a good job. I'm very excited to announce that Sean is going to be leading our Solidworks Live team next year. So, awesome. And by the way, I love the sweater. Let's see if anyone in the chat can guess what this icon represents.
We'll give you some time.
All right. So let's talk about Solidworks Live in 2021. What was the big idea with that program? What were we trying to achieve this year?
I mean, I think with Solidworks Live, right, it's always been about showcasing, you know, the best stories, right, from our brand and our community. You know, that means more than just products, right, more than just CAD. And it's showcasing all of you, you know, those of you in the live chat and in the audience. And I think really that's what we'll continue to try to do.
Okay, what do you hope the audience took away this year?
Yeah, so in 2021, you know, even 2020, even going back even further than that, right? Like, we've been releasing so many new products, which we hope you guys will be happy with. Lots of new features, right? We just did the 2022 What's New. But what we hope you really didn't, what we hope you guys took away most of all was the fact that we're definitely not trying to kind of move away from engaging and empowering the spirit of the Solidworks community, right? Solidworks Live-wise, like, you know, showing off the great creations of people like Jason Poole, Rob Wilkers, or even having, you know, user group leaders on, right? Like Joe Lance coming on to talk about the power of connection and relationship building. I hope you guys took that away.
Well, I'm sure not everyone, well, a few folks I see in the chat have been here on every episode. Let's take a look at a highlight reel from this year in Solidworks Live.
Hello and welcome everybody to Solidworks Live.
I remember Jeff Ray came in with Chris Salmers and they were like, hey, we got this software, it's called Solidworks. It's gonna change the way you guys build bikes at OCC. And I never looked back.
I was trying to figure out how I could apply my skills for good. And I fell into this giant global hackathon. And so I jumped into a team with a number of other folks that shared that idea that we should try to make an elastomeric respirator with injection molded components.
Highlights from 3D Experience World 2021.
It was a great event, and we had more than 37,000 attendees this year.
User group is such a big part of 3D Experience World.
Happy to say that Swugin kind of rose to the challenge. The user group network rose to the challenge, and we still had a really awesome World event.
Today, we're going to be looking at machining a part that's fairly complex. It's got some 3D machining on it. Let's take a look at some of the capabilities that Delmia can bring to SolidWorks users or anybody.
So our library of robots is over 1,700. That's one of the advantages of manufacturing is we're sort of CAD agnostic in what we do. We don't care what CAD system you use. Obviously, SolidWorks is the best if anyone asks, but you know, we can use anything.
This is what Chuck Hall at 3D Systems commercialized in like 1989, 1990. To put it crudely, it's a CNC-controlled hot glue gun.
Walk me through what it's like designing a motorcycle. You've done some pretty impressive artwork.
Screwing things up is how you learn. I'm using X-Shape 100%, man. With X-Shape, you don't really get into trouble when you're modeling because it'll throw an error down in the bottom right-hand screen, like, whoa, slow down.
Can somebody give me a quick description of what a SolidWorks user group meeting is?
People are doing things with the software that you never dreamt that could be done.
There's also food involved and a lot of friendship and networking.
I get engagement from user group leaders in Australia, user group leaders and members in South America, Mexico, Canada, the West Coast, East Coast.
So this year, we're like, okay, Joe, you think that 4 hours or whatever it was long. We're going 24, 25, maybe 26 hours.
Wow. Tell us a little bit about Sawblaze and what makes Sawblaze special.
It's kind of characterized by this sort of capture dustpan architecture where it has these two wheels that drive the robot around, but a whole lot of steel in the front to sort of entangle with bots in a way.
Spinning a meat tenderizer, basically. It was a whole different shape that we've never had any experience with before.
Bringing SolidWorks to the maker audience has been wildly popular and in huge demand over the years.
I use SolidWorks every day to solve my problems, explore engineering, and bring concepts to life from the textbook. And I am astonished that it's being offered along with X-Design and X-Shape for about the same price as a streaming service.
But you can think of 3D Experience SolidWorks for makers almost as a bundle of some of SolidWorks' best design tools.
Just next week, literally next week, they are debuting their Nemo submersible, the model that you're seeing here.
Design, as I said, is changing. These megatrends are putting us on a path of widening the scope of what we do. I dare say that SolidWorks has been leading the pack in innovation.
This is a watertight, no pun intended, model that comes in from X-Shape.
With high-performance graphics, realistic CAD rendering, powerful simulation, we really can bring our designs to life.
Find an event, tune in, see the longer format. SolidWorks focuses on having both a breadth and a depth of functionality.
Really, this show is bigger than any one person, any software. It's about the magic that can be created when people come together for a bigger purpose.
You can see here I'm really kind of pulling out the brow, like around the eye, by controlling the weighting of the surface as it passes through that region of the mesh.
I like to feel like I'm a princess because Mom always told me that I am a princess. And am I?
Mm-hmm.
I am.
Mm-hmm. All right, everyone. Thanks. We'll see you next time. Sean, amazing moments. What was one highlight from you?
You're gonna make me pick one?
Yeah, pick one.
I mean, if I had to say, I think it was just hearing Todd Blackshear, openly speculate that maybe it's a good idea to do 24 hours straight of content. They actually did it. Crazy.
Did you stay up for the whole thing?
No, I didn't. I couldn't. I have two kids at home, you know that. But no, I mean, I did wake up at some point at 2 a.m. Eastern, and the live chat was still going crazy. And it was just a fantastic feat of digital production.
Yeah, you guys can go back, watch the Slug Me 6 highlight reel and all the Keystone presentations. Do you have another highlight from this year?
I'm glad you gave me at least one more.
Yep.
Yeah, being able to tell Freya's story, I think, with Magic Wheelchair is great. And we've done so many of these builds. We've been so fortunate to be able to do them. This is actually one we're showing now. First international build that we've done with Magic Wheelchair. Bunch of SolidWorks champions from the UK took this on and made Georgia just a super happy kiddo.
I love the articulating dragon wings. George loved that.
Yeah.
Such an amazing program. I learned all about that, this year, just Magic Wheelchair and how powerful it is. If there was one episode you'd want to recommend the audience go back and watch, which one would it be?
One? I'd say a rewatchable would be the SolidWorks 2022 What's New. I think a huge reason is just that it was so feature-rich. It was so content-rich, right? Yeah. SolidWorks 3D Experience Works and just like digesting all of it. So I often say, you can cozy up by the fire with a nice book. Maybe do that with a YouTube video this holiday season, and specifically SolidWorks Live.
Yeah, I love that episode. We had Rob Walkers from U-Boat Works talking about the design, showing some of his sketches.
Yep.
Okay, so looking forward to next year. What are you most excited about when it comes to SolidWorks Live in 2022?
I think it's just doubling down, I think, on a lot of our core values that we have in our community, right? Learning, togetherness, doing good, great technology, right? Like, I think just the synergy between all those things is something that we really want to continue to bring you guys in 2022.
Awesome. Well, I see in the chat, Ahmad and Sarad, 3D Swim. Your icon. That's amazing.
They got it, yeah.
Look at that.
One of the best ways to meet other SolidWorks users in the community, just go to a 3D Swim community.
Sean, thank you so much for being here. Everyone out there, be sure and check out Sean's favorite episode, What's New 2022. It's all split up into chapters. You can go and jump right into the features if you'd like. And make sure you subscribe, like, and return and see what we have in store for you in 2022 with SolidWorks Live. Keep the chat coming. Let us know how you're doing, how you're going to be celebrating the holidays, and we'll keep the guessing game going. Also, stay tuned. We're going to reveal a promo code for that half-off registration to World in February. It's a code that's good for both live registration and virtual VIP. And I should mention, virtual is free, but there's some really cool perks with the VIP registration. So let's welcome our next SolidWorks friend, Mike Sande.
Hey, Brian.
To the set.
I love the cabin. It looks amazing. You did a great job decorating.
Here you go.
Oh, wonderful.
Would not be complete without the Moose Mug eggnog.
Awesome.
Mike was a huge part of SolidWorks Live Design, which is a program we started in 2020. He was a producer, a host, a guest, a man of many talents. So what was the big idea with Live Design in 2021?
It's a good question. I think when you look at live design, it really is all about just passion. That's the one word I keep going back to. Passionate about design, and also passionate about just things that we and the guests that are on the show, they do in their daily lives. I mean, we've seen stuff from industry like an awesome timing chain that Jeremy did.
Yep.
Phenomenal. All the way down to house renovations and mountain biking, all done on live design.
What do you hope the audience took away from watching Live Design this year?
Ooh, that's a good one. There's a lot to take away. So if you're a SolidWorks user, going back and really just learning something about efficiency or proficiency in the software, some good pro tips to make your job easier. When you walk in and you get a little bit stuck in a design, hopefully something in Live Design will help tackle that challenge.
Let's take a look at the highlight reel from Live Design in 2021.
I want to welcome everybody this morning, today, this evening, wherever you're joining us from, to Live Design on our YouTube channel, where we're going to show you how to do really cool things and solve problems in the SolidWorks portfolio of tools that's available to you. In the real world, feel is everything. How do we simulate feel or this terrain inside of SolidWorks?
When you think about the suspension of a bike, those things don't really contribute to the behavior of a bike and the suspension of how the bike moves. So we can replicate that by adding weight to the bike, right? So we're taking weight off.
56% of the audience mountain bikes, so
no way.
Got a captive audience.
Wow, that's awesome. Hopefully see you guys out on the trail.
I'm really excited to host this session because it gives me a chance to combine a couple of my passions. All right, so designing in SolidWorks and playing the drums. Okay, who's ever tried to model a chain before? You got all these little links, little tiny pieces, small features, lots of mates, and even if you do get it mated together, it's like trying to herd cats.
Mike Zabocek made sure that we know Led Zeppelin has 22 total albums, which sounds a lot. That sounds more right to me.
Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah, I think Brian was just yanking our chain.
You must have been. Oh, chain. Haha.
No fun.
What I'm going to do is actually hop into the 3D Experience platform. The point of showing this part is the fact that you don't maybe you're not the person who's the final decider for what this pattern is going to look like, right? But you could build this and then somebody else could play around with it.
One of the big ideas that I want to get out there is, this design was done in SolidWorks, and how are we getting it over to these Simulia, which is a sister brand of SolidWorks, these Simulia roles and apps. And we're doing it with the 3D Experience platform, so we're able to just natively open up the assembly and inside some of these other apps and get going. One of the other big takeaways here.
Hold on, Michael. So you didn't have to go launch your app or anything. You can just do that right from inside of SolidWorks.
Right from SolidWorks.
When you showed it, I was expecting boom. Where was the boom? That's pretty cool, Michael. That's so easy. Like, think about it. How many times are people like, where's that app? And the good news is at least in Windows 10, you can just search for your apps, but you never even had to leave SolidWorks. You could just go over there, click the button. So can I do that with other apps too, like that I might have? Is that how they all work?
That's right.
So I went into SolidWorks and traced out the home improvement and just snuck Office in there. So I thought it was pretty cool. So I could have it in 3D, which I don't know, it was kind of fun. But
Mark, can I ask you a question? When you finished extruding it, did you do the voice that he makes?
More power. I'm using a tool called 3D Experience SolidWorks. It's a role on the 3D Experience platform. And this allows me to save all of my files directly to the cloud. And there's some real power and usability in that.
Obviously, because the wall thickness is only 1.5 millimeters, we need to add some ribs. So we're going for really slow here because I may be a pilot, I'm not an RC pilot. So
yeah, those are completely different skills right there. Yeah.
Yeah, they really are.
John says he likes his ribs at 3 degrees. Me, I like my ribs slow cooked over a charcoal grill.
I like those ribs too. Full disclosure, wasn't the most stable airplane in the world. I didn't exactly do some weight and balances. Here's me flying it through a tree. And it actually came out the other side and still kept flying. So, I mean, it did fly. I think I'll stick to my hobby of flying real airplanes.
So this sounds kind of hard what you're doing right now, Toby. This is a lot of work to put this.
A lot of work. It's a lot of work, man. In fact, I'm gonna cancel out because you're gonna sit there. You're gonna be trying to get to work. So instead, here, what we can see is that if we go into the linear pattern command, and we say that we're going to linear pattern from this edge here, and we're going to linear pattern this feature, we could actually go right up here into the linear pattern dialog box. And in the linear pattern dialog box, there's this option for up to reference. So cool, right?
This is so easy. I'm a product of drafting. This is my high school drafting book that I have. If you want to draw lines like on this white layer, which is my handle layer, or construction lines on the red layer, you have to go and manual switch layers all the time here. Well, DraftSight did something else. If it knows that I'm going to draw dimensions, it automatically puts on that layer.
Hopefully, this was enjoyable for everybody.
I think you had a huge amount of fans very impressed, Jeremy, myself included. I think we all learned a few things. You definitely did some deep cuts on some of those advanced.
Yeah. This was a more intermediate to advanced topic for sure.
I was talking to some other colleagues. It's like I don't think I've ever broken a chair, and I was challenged back. It's like, no, you haven't broken a chair before. Like maybe I don't use the same chair. If you're designing products, you're designing maybe one part at a time, and I'm trying to figure out, well, how strong is this part? Will it work? We really need to take a look at the bigger picture of how components are connected, and then what's the weakest link.
If you have add-ins turned on that you're not using, you're probably blocking somebody out from using that tool, like simulation or like routing or inspection. So I want to show you real quick that 3D Experience add-in as well. And this is one that a lot of you probably haven't used or aren't familiar with yet, but did you know you can connect your SolidWorks desktop to the 3D Experience cloud for data management, for storing, managing, collaborating on your data?
You've got so much sketching to do that sometimes the sketch relations are kind of hard to manage at some point. You want to make a frame of, that looks like a box. You just model a cube, pick all the edges, and basically you're done.
You're going to learn over time what kind of tolerances your 3D printer can facilitate. When you start working with surfacing a lot, what you realize is that being able to just do one face at a time is often a faster, albeit a brute force solution to challenges you're running into. For me personally, I'm a family man, so I am always up against the clock.
So here's our results, but we can look at, von Mises stress, we can look at factor of safety. So you can see my minimum factor of safety now is down to 3.07. But basically what you do is, so you run your parent study, right? This is the model that I want to do a parametric study on.
I can start seeing here the actual preview of what that sheet metal body is going to look like.
I keep forgetting you're in a web browser. So you could be doing this on a Mac, You know, I guess you could even do it on like a Chromebook. I just got one of those.
This is what we're going to machine today out of a solid billet of aluminum.
I'm guessing you used SolidWorks for the design?
Of course, absolutely. The facing operation is done, and it looks pretty good. It's clean, really, really smooth, and now we've got a completely true and flat surface.
Thanks for tuning in. Looking forward to next time, and we'll see you then.
Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day.
So many great episodes. I love that last one with John Milbury, him taking us inside his machine shop at his house. Talk about passionate people. So what was your top highlight of this year?
Ooh, that's a tough one. There's a lot of great episodes. Hard to pick even a top 5, but you know, I'm a mountain biker. You know me, I love to be outside, and watching Andrew Gross go in and not only show some phenomenal tips and tricks on assemblies, but he actually went in and designed a mountain bike, and then he simulated the suspension system on it, figuring out the right amount of dampening in the system he would need for riding it. Here, actually, you can see that response. So stuff that I never knew you could do in SolidWorks. You walk through the whole process.
That's wild. So that's motion, seeing if it's correctly damped.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So amazing.
All right, you get another highlight. GP gets 3, everyone else gets 2. So what's your second top highlight this year?
You know, I got to go back to Jordan Tadich. He went through and actually redesigned his house, which to me was, I was like, we only got an hour, buddy. Like, you know, how are you going to do this? And he did such a great job breaking down the steps, the processes for, yeah, there you go, some steps.
Literally.
For literally anyone to be able to jump in and tackle what seems like a daunting project.
I can't believe you got all that framing in there. And I know he's legitimately like reframing based on this whole model. That's, wow.
Yeah, it was a great episode. I loved it.
All right, if there's one episode that you want to recommend everyone go back and watch in its entirety, those are 2 great ones. Is there any other one you want folks who are new to live design to go check out?
I think no matter your level of user, if you're beginner, brand new to SolidWorks, expert level user, you got to go back and watch Brad Williamson. He did a UI customization tips and tricks. Phenomenal. I mean, there's mind-blowing things in there for everyone to start out. So start there if you haven't seen it yet.
Okay. What are you looking forward to thinking about the new year, live design? What are we going to do?
Just more. You know, in fact, those in the chat right now, reach out. If you have any ideas that you want to see, throw it in there. But we're going to have, you know, more designs, more guests, just more to it. And it's going to be a great year. So we're looking forward to it.
All right. Well, in the chat, no one mentioned yet. I haven't seen the folks who know the icon that you're representing today. Tell us what you got on your sweater.
Well, I love to render. It's a lens, which is actually the visualize icon. So if you're looking at rendering or you're kind of curious about it, make sure to check out SolidWorks Visualize. It's my favorite product. So I get the sweater, and I love this sweater.
You can do all the fun things. And of course, Visualize Connected is part of 3D Experience SolidWorks. Awesome. It's like the professional level tool and just inside the professional package. So awesome. I can't wait to do live design. Come on as a guest. Hopefully you'll have me on there. Be sure and check out Mike's favorite episode, Brad's UI customization tips and tricks. And of course, subscribe so you don't miss any of these awesome episodes in 2022. Like Mike said, yeah, let us know in the chat and we'll keep tabs on what you want us to model for you. And we'll start to incorporate that. Thanks so much, Mike, for joining us. And I see someone else coming in the studio here, shaking off the cold, getting out of the blizzard. Hey, John. How are you? We have John Martorano joining us.
Thanks, Brian.
Hey.
Good to be here.
Here's your nog.
Oh, my very own eggnog.
Yep,
All right,
grab a
thank you.
cookie that GP brought for us. John was one of our co-hosts on Exploring 3D Experience Works. Our newest, well, actually there's another newer one, but our second newest live streaming series this year. What was the whole idea behind starting Exploring 3D Experience Works?
Yeah, I mean, it was just that, exploring 3D Experience Works. No, but...
Kind of answers itself.
Yeah, it kind of does. But the 3D Experience Works portfolio is really a set of tools designed to tackle, you know, that whole design challenge, you know, product development challenge. And it's, you know, primarily cloud-based. So our goal was just to explore. I think we covered at least 12 roles and just to see what we could get done, right? So that was the big mission.
Role is, I guess, what we call the products now. But on the platform, we have roles that contain the apps. And if anyone knows what app John is representing on his sweater, let us know in the chat. Kind of an easy one. What do you hope the audience took away from your program this year?
I think one of the things I want the audience to take away from is that, you know, we were able to use these tools very effectively, and I think they're ultimately ready for adoption. And we had a lot of fun with what we designed this year. We designed, you know, a lot of different products using the 3D Experience Works portfolio. So I think that's the biggest takeaway that I want the audience to get from this whole year of content.
A lot was covered, a lot of exploration. Let's go ahead and play the highlight reel from this year exploring 3D Experience Works.
Whether you're a one-person operation or you're an enterprise company, we have solutions for you for CAD and beyond.
I'm gonna search to find the power switch that will work, and boom, isn't that satisfying? Big weight off my shoulders here.
I'm gonna turn on transparency a little bit. I wanna be able to see these components inside so I can model around them. Grab, control, push and pull those however you'd like to get that shape that you're looking for. As you make changes, the draft analysis updates. The S key is not just for SolidWorks. It's for 3D Creator, it's for 3D Sculptor, it's really anything SolidWorks can get its hands on. Oh yeah, look at all that detail, John. I'm gonna drag and drop it across tabs into our Create Trimmer Enclosure task. Megan's just not a fan of the chamfers, you know? Can we just do fillets here? Like, let's keep it simple.
He's in a completely different thing. He's working in XDesign right now, which is completely cloud-based.
It's starting to look like a finger, but
a little bit.
It also kind of looks like a deformed hot dog, kind of. There's not enough shape. It's the slightest details that differentiate like a mechanical, robotic-looking finger to a lifelike one. It's like 1,000 style splines surrounding the model and transposing the entire model. That makes me flinch a little bit. And it will, like a magnet line, just kind of like suck all those vertices down. You know, traditional parametric surface modeling, like that would have been a heck of a lot more.
You see he has a separate widget of 3D space, which is where he keeps all of his data. Down below, he can insert 3 of the different mates that he needs to put in are all in there, and he clicks the green check and then gives it a move.
I don't want them to like hit the controller and accidentally drop like a 1,000-pound piece of equipment. We'll be able to shell this out no problem and get this thing ready. Do a quick refresh and you'll be able to see all my changes.
Add these 2 walls together. It's literally as simple as it looks. You just click the 2 separate bodies and send this to sheet metal manufacturers to get some quotes. Just like everything else, pretty much, it's just a simple drag and drop.
What does a watermark prove? How updated it is? This gives us one place where everybody can go to find out what that latest and greatest snapshot of what our product looks like, right? But then it's also got physical products that were never modeled in SolidWorks. Maybe it's the packaging, like we were talking, the box. This is truly an e-bomb in that we can think on how I think about that product, right?
As your designs kind of evolve as a company and you're doing this more and more with more products, you can start seeing like a much bigger picture view, right?
You basically get the best of both worlds, right?
So you can notice the structure.
Oh, yeah.
So now concept 2, Rev B1, is the new design.
So as the crash progresses, the kinetic energy goes down. Look, I don't know about you, Gian, but I definitely don't want to be a driver in this.
Yeah, that's a hard pass for me as well.
High-end capabilities, high-end scenarios.
The scalability of what the cloud, the 3D Experience Platform cloud offers, right? You can create some really cool graphics, rich visualization. I measured the drag forces and the down forces and got the efficiency, the L/D ratio. So it's really cool stuff, guys. I mean, it's not just pretty colors.
We got to make sure that we have proper ventilation. We got to make sure that it doesn't overheat. This heat sink is a very, very critical component. We went from 126 down to 76.7, so that's under 80 Celsius, where we want to be. The material actually snaps back into place. Just being able to run these what-if scenarios really gives you and enables you to, to innovate, right, for future product.
The lean DNA is built into this tool because it's actually from the shop floor.
And of course, since we're on the 3D Experience platform, connected to my SolidWorks, I can load in CAD data and view that in 3D Play. What are the components? What's the assembly look like? What are the interactions? And how can we possibly make this better? Adam Analyst coming in. Yeah, let's optimize, let's lightweight. Let's get into what could have been the root cause, traceability of tasks, items, and eventually even making a project plan.
As a non-engineer, I can interact with the model. I have access to the whole tree and all the data that's associated with it, paint, or I need to add in oil or lubricants or other operations. Maybe there's packaging. What this calculation has done is actually looking at ordering the product, having it come on, and scheduling each of those products and then shipping it out the door.
When companies do not measure their machine availability, quality, and performance, that their overall manufacturing capacity is about 40%.
John, that is crazy. It's so much more than just design. I mean, manufacturing, data management, simulation, right?
Yeah.
What was one of your favorite top moments from this year?
Oh, geez, had a feeling this was coming. There's so much to pick from, but everybody loves, like, who doesn't love What's New 2022? Mike Sande, our very own Mike Sande, came on and he showed us everything what's new in 2022 with SolidWorks. And you know Mike Sande's a Visualize guy, so there's no shortage in what's new in Visualize 2022. So it's a real blast, and I'd have to say, although there are a lot of others that I really enjoyed, that one has to be my favorite.
All right, I'm giving everyone 2 favorite moments. What was another one?
And you know, Brian, I'd have to say my second favorite, close second, would be the one where you joined us. You showed us Lean Team Player back in June. Oh yeah,
the good and the bad of team meetings.
That's right, the good and the bad of team meetings. And you know what I really like about this too is that we actually, in our team meetings, right, we use it. We practice what we preach. And
yeah, Lean Team Player, it's actually from the manufacturing domain. But
right.
Yeah, we use it every day for our meetings. I love it.
Yeah, so many use cases, keeping meetings on time, you know, keeping everybody accessing the same information. So,
all right, if you have to pick one episode to recommend everyone go back and rewatch, which one would it be?
Yeah, so there's Getting Flexible with 3D Sculptor. It's Jordan Todich, and he did basically an amazing tutorial and a high-level overview of, you know, 3D Sculptor, which is the subdivisional modeling tool.
And that's the one with the finger, he's bending it all
Yeah,
around.
the LN4, yeah, the DTV shredder, and then the hair trimmer at the end that we showcased in our very first episode.
That's definitely my favorite episode, because then he puts Gian on the spot to like incorporate everything he just taught him. Like, were you paying attention?
Yeah.
All right, so thinking about 2022, what are we going to do with Exploring 3D Experience Works?
Yeah, so I think based on demand and what everybody's said, I think we're going to take kind of a step back and focus on more shorter bite-sized content instead of the long-form content. So I think having more or smaller digestible chunks of content available for users to learn, I think would be very helpful and much more engaging. So I think that everybody could look forward to that coming into 2022.
All right, well, your icon is very appropriate to Exploring Works. In fact, in the chat, Yaya gets another point. X Design, Ahmad, yep, X Design. So, or 3D creator role.
That's right, they got it.
A drone, though, okay.
It is a drone, yeah.
So you spent a lot of time in that tool, and yeah, I was actually blown away seeing what you're able to do with the hoist modeling that you guys did. So another good episode.
Yeah, it's another good.
Basically, just go back and watch them all. You can go to the
watch the whole series.
live.solidworks.com, or head over to YouTube, go into our channel, into videos and playlists, and you'll see them all. John, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Braving
Brian.
the blizzard, coming to the SolidWorks cabin today.
Oh, thanks for inviting me in. Now I got to go back out to the cold.
Not too bad, buddy. Well, before we reveal the 50% off promo code for World, I want to introduce you to the real newest live streaming program that was introduced this year, Manufacturing Live. And earlier this week, I was able to catch up with Mike Buchli virtually from his office in Colorado.
Hey, Mike, thanks for joining us virtually. So what inspired you to jump in and start Manufacturing Live later this year?
You know, it's a really good question. Last year, because we were virtual at 3D Experience World, we hosted a manufacturing panel. Through that, we had lots of great questions, lots of people wanting to hear from our customers. And that is really what kicked it off, is more people want to hear from other customers and the challenges that they have.
What do you think the audience then took away? Did they hear some answers to those challenges?
Yeah, so through our conversations and taking questions live, there was lots of interest in employees and how I automate and all of those components, to where it spurred really good questions and really good conversation before and actually after each live session.
Well, let's take a look at the highlight reel that you brought for us of Manufacturing Live.
We bring automation and bring multitasking machines and robotics into our company.
When we talk automation, what do you frame automation as?
Some people view automation as truly robotics. You know, like you have to automate the process with a robot in order to be automated. We consider automation just the ability of gauging things in a very, a rapid and very, accurate method.
There's a lot of automation that happens through the basic communicating better, understanding a workflow, and doing all the things right before the machine ever gets turned on. What does manufacturing engineering mean to you?
With me, it's kind of a overall manufacturing type responsibility, if you will. Not only bill of materials, drawings, making sure you've got all the right machines, tolerances set up, but it's also helping to build a team. You have to build a team around in the entire plant, really, to kind of be able to do your job and do it effectively.
For the two people on the planet that don't know who you are, tell a little bit about yourself, what you do, why you're so good at everything manufacturing.
I'm just a regular guy, and I'm living proof that somebody who doesn't go to college, who doesn't, have the options that a lot of people have. I went from homelessness to prison to having no hope into manufacturing. My head clicked, and I just got a life out of it, and I have an amazing family I'm able to take care of. And now I work to inspire the whole nation and the whole world that, hey, if we manufacture our own products, if we actually get our kids excited about trade schools and get into the industry, that amazing things can happen,
I feel like women have so many skill sets to offer to the sector, including problem solving and multitasking, and just bringing a diverse set of ideas to the table when it comes to solving some of these issues that we're, encountering today. There's a lot of opportunity that women can, fill those missing opportunities that are going to be available over the next 5 to 10 years. I've also seen, more moms entering in the sector, which is great.
We basically have a dream team of the next generation of manufacturers. Good news for all of you is you picked the right field of engineering as manufacturing engineering.
These guys make it so exciting because of their energy, and they bring that to class every day. So I couldn't not love it.
So you want to calibrate to make sure you have a digital twin. You create the best fit first, you calibrate, you get an actual virtual twin. So what you do in the virtual will mimic what should be in the real. And then you can upload and download programs from the robot controller. It's a little more complex than machining.
Yep.
You're talking about a cottage industry. So you go to Speedway and you buy a grill for a 33. And then you're going to put that on someone else's body and someone else's chassis. And without CAD in the cottage industry, it is a fright pig of tolerances don't fit, parts don't fit, cobbling away, hammering, cutting, grinding, deburring. So for us, having all the parts in a box that come from us, what happens is the fitment and the assembly of the build-it-yourself car is so much more fun.
Please register for 3D Experience World coming up in February. Stop by, see the cars, see the parts we're going to run. It is going to be really, really cool.
Mike, what was one of your favorite moments from Manufacturing Live this year?
There's lots of them, right? But, I think when we look at Manufacturing Live and we look at manufacturing in general, our Boombastic event we did last year with Titan, getting to be around all those great experts, those things were amazing. Being able to be with like-minded people that just want to make the world a better place.
Yeah, you mentioned Titan. He's so humble, so energetic. I love everything that you do when you get together with him. Any other favorite moments from this year?
One that stands out to me is Megan from Maven's Manufacturing, listening to how women are entering the workforce for manufacturing, how we're having diversity in that workforce. It's worth going back and listening to because there's so many things that can be done there just to make the world a better place.
Well, that all starts New Year's, right? New Year coming up. What are you most looking forward to in 2022?
Well, to start with, for us, it's 3D Experience World. We're going to have some really cool things in the shop floor, robots, 9-axis mill turn. We're going to unveil a supercar from Factory 5. And from there, there's lots of great Manufacturing Live episodes coming up where we're actually going to be talking with, more industry experts about automation and how to make lives better.
That's awesome. And of course, Solidworks Live will be there at 3D Experience World, streaming with you right from the shop floor. Speaking of machining and shop floor, Mike, you got to tell us what is on your sweater.
This is the icon that everyone should know this next year. This is the shop floor programmer role from Delmia. It's part of our works portfolio. It's what I've been using for the last year, and it is awesome.
NC shop floor programmer, that's what, three axis wire EDM, kind of the entry point of our CNC tools on the platform, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We get machine kinematics, true surface machining, not mesh machining. So it's got a lot of power in a very clear, easy to use package.
See, I'm already getting my head around what it does. So Mike, can't wait to learn more and see you on the shop floor in Atlanta. Until then, stay warm in Colorado.
Yeah, thanks, Brian.
I was just thinking about what Mike said, 9 axis. We need 3 more, then we could have the 12 axes of CNC. I don't even know what the 9 axes are. Name them in the chat if you can. By the way, Eric, I see in the chat saying, if these sweaters aren't part of the next Champions or Swaggin swag box, we're gonna revolt. So I'm glad you had some fun with us. These sweaters are actually very, very cozy. A big thank you to all of our SolidWorks friends that I've now shoved out the door into the cold, and hope you enjoyed hearing from each of them. You're gonna see them next year on the live stream. Check out each of their favorite episodes. As I mentioned, you can find them on live.solidworks.com or head over to YouTube and check out our videos. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'd love to see you at 3D Experience World in Atlanta. So if you register in the next 48 hours, please take advantage of this special 50% off promo code. You can see it expires tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern on the 17th, so act fast. And you can use this for a live registration or for the virtual VIP. And heck, just go over there and register for the virtual, and that is actually free. So it's totally gonna be worth it. And again, we'd love to see you down in Atlanta. Subscribe, don't miss any of our live streams next year. Just wanna say thanks for being part of our community. Happy holidays, stay warm, stay safe. Cheers, we can't wait to see what designs you bring to life in 2022.